He has won the domestic league and the domestic trophy at every one of those football clubs. He has played over 250 games at the highest level. So you look at him statistically and he's very, very good across everything. But I think... Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Today we're going to be looking at the real reason Matthijs de Ligt is such a transformative transfer for Manchester United. We're going to blow away the cobwebs on the myths and the inaccuracies, and we're also going to compare him to other top centre-backs in the Premier League, like Virgil van Dijk, like William Saliba, but also some of the current centre-backs at Manchester United, like Harry Maguire and Lisandro Martinez. This is a guy that is only just going to be 25 probably when you watch this. He was Ajax's captain at the age of 18. He has played over 250 games at the highest level. Now, when you look at someone like Mason Mount, who was actually 6 months older than de Ligt, he's played about 180. So all this injury myth and, you know, he's not a very good player, etc. This is a lad that has played a lot of football at a lot of big clubs. In fact, he played in the Europa League final that Mourinho won with Manchester United. He also played and scored in that famous semi-final loss to Spurs. And at Ajax, Bayern Munich and Juventus, he has won the domestic league and the domestic trophy at every one of those football clubs. We all remember that famous victory speech he gave in front of that huge crowd when Ajax won the Eredivisie. A massive, massive influence on that Ajax side at such a young age. And we know that Manchester United lack leaders. Bruno Fernandes may well be the captain, but he's constantly being told he isn't captain material. Bringing somebody in like de Ligt in his mid-20s, with the experience he's got, can only help that United side become stronger mentally. But why does Erik Ten Hag want to bring in another former Ajax player? And I think the clue probably goes back to that Erik Ten Hag Ajax side. When you look at de Ligt when he was playing with Davinson Sanchez, or probably more prominently Daley Blind, as centre-backs, they were aggressive in the way that they played. Both players looking to play that high line, both players looking to aggressively play the ball from the back between the lines and carry it into the midfield. And that is certainly something that Manchester United have missed. When you look at last season with no Lisandro Martinez and the injury problems that we had with Rafael Varane, Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, even Kambwala and Evans, Manchester United's defence had to naturally move back towards the edge of the box, which stifled and suffocated Onana and didn't allow Erik Ten Hag to play that the way he wants to play. He still played the higher attacking line, but had to drop the defensive line, which left to the midfield being so open, as we've discussed before. With somebody like de Ligt and Martinez, both products of Ajax Ten Hag sides, they naturally would complement each other, probably better than Blind and de Ligt did in those, good days for Ajax. Martinez, if he can stay fit, naturally left-footed, naturally gives you that balance, passing between the lines, and he's superb at playing that high line and stepping into the midfield. And de Ligt on the other side, right-footer, exactly the same, capable of carrying the ball into the midfield, well attuned to passing out from the back, whether it's for the Dutch national side, Ajax, Bayern Munich or Juventus. And what I like about a de Ligt Martinez possibility is that whilst neither of them are electric quick, they've both built their games on high-line defending. They're confident leaders and they're confident in their ability to read the game as well. On top of that, de Ligt is 6'2". If you compare him to somebody like a Victor Lindelof or a Harry Maguire, two of those players want to play on the edge of the penalty box. De Ligt wants to play on the halfway line. He wants to lead as well. He wants to grab hold of the team. He's vocal. He wants to be pushing that defensive line forward. He almost is a captain from centre-back. And I'm not saying that de Ligt or Martinez should become captains of Manchester United. But when I think back to the great Manchester United sides, where you had teams with like Cantona, Mark Hughes, Dennis Irwin, Paul Ince, Brian Robson, Peter Schmeichel, Steve Bruce, Gary Pallister, Roy Keane, and you can go on and on all the way through to the likes of Ronaldo, Rooney, Beckham. There are so many players that were leaders that weren't necessarily having the armband on all the time. And I think the great thing about de Ligt as well is that He probably wasn't a centre-back we as fans were talking about back in March. It was the likes of Todibo, it was Branthwaite, it was maybe Guehi. It certainly wasn't De Ligt back then. Why? Well, probably because it wasn't as attractive as it maybe seems now. Probably because we didn't think it was possible. But the brilliance of the De Ligt deal is that it's really a well-structured deal from the people, the new heads in Ineos who are running the footballing side with Ten Hag, where they've clearly looked at everything we've looked at for the last 5 minutes and gone, actually, he fits us like a glove. He's still young at 25. He's been everywhere. He's massively experienced. He's a leader and he fits the way that we want to play perfectly on the right-hand side to Martinez's left-hand side. Harry Maguire per 90 is having 4.7 aerial duels and he's winning 67% of them. De Ligt is 4.5 and he's winning 63% of them. So he's not quite as good as Maguire, but Maguire's one of the best in the league aerially, and De Ligt's not far away from him at 25. Age-wise, Maguire is obviously 31, Van Dijk is 33, and De Ligt is 25. So there is still a little bit of prime years for De Ligt to move into when you compare him aerially to the likes of Maguire and Van Dijk, who we know are very, very good. Progressive runs, which is moving into the midfield, he is averaging 0.9 per game, and that is the same as Virgil van Dijk, Lisandro Martinez, and it's more than Saliba. Harry Maguire, to be fair, is averaging 1 progressive run per 90. The only one who's better than any of them is Akanji at 2.2, which is just remarkable. Successful defensive actions per 90, 7 for De Ligt. That keeps him ahead of the likes of Van Dijk on 6.6, Saliba 6.7. Maguire's on 8.1, but so is Martinez, and I think that's just a little bit because Man United were defending a lot last season. 93% pass accuracy for Van Dijk, 95% for De Ligt, 89% for Maguire. So I just think the overall game of De Ligt, whether it's aerial and physically, he's matching Van Dijk and Maguire, who are very good with that. Passing, he's matching, you know, the better centre-backs in the league as well. He's physical and he's getting involved in things, and he can progress the ball as well. So you look at him statistically and he's very, very good across everything. But I think the first few minutes are where De Ligt really is. The real reason Man United want him is because he's so transformative. And I think he can make Manchester United finally become a team that can defend better and higher up the pitch with some leadership as well. Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you on the next one.